shelter trying to save themselves. What exactly happened, as I mentioned, that remains to be investigated by the authorities, but it does seem to be a tragedy, and this happened exactly at the time when Switzerland was ringing in the new year. It was 1:30 a.m. local time, just about 90 minutes into the new year when it happened.
How tragic that this.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Apparently, first thing that when I wake up today is I'm seeing and hearing about this story about this fire. Some are saying explosion at the Swiss ski resort bar. The latest that I'm seeing is 40 people dead, which is insane. 40 people dead, 100 hurt after fire rips through New Year's party at a Swiss ski resort. Wow. They say that the fire started around 1:30 in the morning at a place called Constellation Bar. 1:30 in the morning, Constellation Bar at a ritzy ski resort. So this is like, I don't know anything about this place, but I guess it's like very fancy. In Crans, Montana, Valais Canton. They were saying it was like a horror movie. The bar can hold up to 300 people. Further video shows emergency services treating the wounded in the street while survivors stand around. Witnesses believe the explosion was triggered by sparklers being held too close to the ceiling, which set a roof on fire. At the moment, we're considering that this is a fire. We're not considering the possibility of an attack. Because some people were talking about, like, damn, was this a terror attack? Was it a terror attack or something like that? It's kind of crazy. Very nice looking place, fancy, ritzy, expensive, I guess upper class, whatever you want to call it. My camera's not focused on me. The hell? Oh, there we go. Upper class. Two young French women said waitresses were carrying bottles with sparklers inside of them through the venue before one caught on the ceiling. One woman who gave her name Victoria told the outlet that a waitress was shaking the bottle and the flames quickly spread. In a few dozen seconds, the whole ceiling was on fire. Everything was made of wood, she said. Some of the bottles were near the ceiling and caught fire. The whole ceiling was in flames and the fire spread really fast. It happened in seconds. We ran outside screaming and crying. That's crazy, man. I saw a young man withering in agony on the floor. His body and his hair were badly burned, and half of his face had gone. I think he must have died. She estimated that most of the 200 people in the bar were between 15 and 20. Oh, maybe in that country you can at 15. I don't know. 15 and 20. Bone-chilling video obtained by The Sun shows people screaming as a massive fire rages inside the bar. Holy crap. A witness told French outlet BFM TV he saw people, some gravely injured, smashing the bar windows in a desperate attempt to escape the flames, which he likened to a horror movie. Later, panicked parents flocked to the scene to see if their children were trapped inside. Authorities deployed 10 helicopters and 40 ambulances to the scene. Bro, that's insane, man. That's insane. Holy crap.
seems to be indeed a tragedy because, as I mentioned, several people have been killed and many more have been injured. What exactly happened, all of that details are yet to be furnished by the authorities at the Swiss resort town. This was a luxury resort town, probably filled with rich folks that come from across the globe to this resort town. The visuals tell the story. You can hear that many people are running helter-skelter trying to save themselves. What exactly happened, as I...
It's an interesting verbiage he's using. They're running helter-skelter. I'm like, holy shit, I've never really heard that used before. That's crazy, man. I mean, you're going to, I guess, top of the line, upper class, upper echelon. You're paying all this money, fancy, all the rich people, according to these people. Don't they have fire, emergency rules and regulations, like an escape plan, multiple exits? What the hell? How do 40 people die in a shit like this and over 100 people injured? Mass casualty. That's why my ass stays home, man. I'm staying home for now. I'm just chilling at the house. We were chilling last night. Crazy.
Bar during a New Year's Eve party in Switzerland.
Stephanie Bennett joins us now. She's in our London bureau with the latest. Stephanie?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, it was supposed to be a moment of celebration, welcoming in the new year of 2026, but it soon turned into a nightmare. Now, officials say it's still too early to determine the cause of this fire and the blast. The community, of course, is in the heart of the Swiss Alps,
Yeah, that's the thing. What caused the explosion? Because they're saying there was an explosion, too.
25 miles north of the Matterhorn. 10 helicopters and 40 ambulances rushed to the scene after police say a blast and then fire broke out at the Constellation bar in Crans, Montana. Authorities ruled out an attack, and it happened around 1:30 a.m. local time. Swiss authorities haven't released an exact number yet, but say several dozen are feared dead and around 100 more injured, many of which were visiting from other countries. Work is now underway to identify the victims and inform their families, which police say will take some time. And the number of victims in the intensive care unit and operating theater at a regional hospital is now at full capacity, with other patients being sent elsewhere. Switzerland State Council has declared a state of emergency, allowing them to access more resources. So far, we do know that France's foreign ministry confirmed at least 2 French nationals are among the injured.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot hide it from you. We are shaken by what happened last night. On behalf of the command of the police, I extend my deepest sympathy to the victims and the families affected by this tragedy.
Wow.
Now, the town was only formed about 9 years ago when multiple towns merged. In 4 weeks' time, the resort is actually supposed to host athletes for their last events before going to the Winter Olympics. The municipality had banned fireworks on New Year's Eve due to the lack of rainfall. For now, guys, we'll continue to monitor this situation and bring you the very latest. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Stephanie.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Do you know, Stephanie, at this point, given that this is such a large international tourist destination, do we know anything about the victims? Are any American citizens?
We're not sure yet. And even here in London, we're still waiting to hear if any UK citizens were involved. Swiss authorities and police, they are very tight-lipped. They do things by the book. So we're expecting not too many leaks of any information. There is a lot of social media video going around, which police say, please do not share for the families of these victims. But we're waiting to see if we have any more press conferences later today. But we're hoping to find out more information in the coming hours.
Stephanie, I know it's a gruesome scene anytime people are injured in this way, but it sounds like we're being told there was an explosion, then a subsequent fire. I know hard to speculate, is it a gas used for heat or what caused the explosion? Do we know that if the people that were killed due to the explosion or the fire? Was there trouble getting people out or any of those circumstances?
Witnesses on the ground say that this happened possibly in the basement of this event, where technically they have a lot of concerts and they have discos and things that happen down there. So things are pointing towards maybe they were in the basement when this happened.
Wow.
And so we'll have to see.
Hey, lastly, Stephanie, obviously in this internationally renowned ski resort town, they're not equipped because of the size of the community to handle such a wide tragedy that's hitting? How are the local community folks dealing with this?
Yeah, well, the local hospital is maxed out, they said. They even put out a post saying to locals, be careful over the next few days. Try to avoid coming to us in the hospital. Of course, it is also the height of flu and cold season right now. A lot of patients are being taken to other hospitals around.
Damn.
And we're also hearing now that they've declared a state of emergency, more resources can be pushed to this region. And also other nearby countries potentially can come and help out as well.
All right, Stephanie Bennett, live for us in London. We'll check back in with you as
That's crazy, man, to wake up to this. Excuse me. Crazy to wake up to that. I guess this is video of the fire. The New York Post is saying 40 killed. The numbers could change. 40 killed. And it's like, you know, history repeats itself. Because I feel like historically, I've seen so many like a couple of documentaries of stories like this. A fire breaks out at a bar or a club. All these people are trapped. People are, you know, trampling on top of each other to try to get out. Wow. Let me check and see what's social media. Let me see what's on X with this place. The Constellation Bar, a ritzy ski resort. Damn. Dozens killed. This is what everybody's talking about this morning. This is how we're starting out the new year. Isn't that crazy? To start out the year like this. I know it's in another country, but it's still pretty kind of crazy, you know? Wow. Shit, that's crazy, dude. They're saying that victims were believed to have been trapped inside the bar as there were not enough emergency exits. I'm trying to remember. There was a massive fire in America. I think it was a bar or something, and all these people died. Let me see. Let me ask Grok. I know there was a massive fire a long time ago. You would think with all the technology that we have, all the AI stuff that we have, that we'd be able to avoid stuff like this. Four-second clip of the fire. Let me see. Let's see if I can find more video.
Been here way longer than 22 months. Low, how's Maddie doing?
Grammy,
well?
thank you.
I've been praying for you all. Happy New Year, fireworks emoji.
Happy New Year. She's doing really good. I just have to follow up. She's doing really good. She's happy and stuff. 2-week break from school. Live video of the deadly fire outbreak. Let's take a look at this. No, she's doing good, man. She's I mean, there's been a lot that's happened, but she's doing really good. You know, I had this whole custody thing that cost a lot of money, but it's worth every penny. She's doing great. Damn. I guess this is maybe when the fire started. Too paranoid now, man. I can't go out clubbing anymore. Not that I want to anyway. I'm older now, you know, but back in the day, I used to go out and party and stuff a little bit, you know, but in open spaces. I never liked packed places though. I remember one time I went to Space. It was in Miami. was space? There was one time where like it was so packed, like I knew if something bad were to happen, there would be no way to get out because it was so packed. Like you had to push through people, and people are like on top of you, like literally, like the only way you can walk through this place is walking through. You have to push your way through. It was packed. I didn't like it at all. I don't like packed places like that. I don't like to feel like I'm in a sardine can, you know? Let me see what else they have here.
Let's bring in Martin Mule, a reporter for Blick, a Swiss German language daily newspaper, and who can join us now from Cons, Montana. Martin, just paint us a picture of what's happening where you are right now.
I'm just at the scene of the fire from this night. So in my background, you can see the policeman checking everybody who wants to enter the area. No one can do. So everything is closed because the investigations are still in progress. So it's closed only for authorities are able to get any closer to this scene of the fire. I'm about
you guys are crazy in the chat,
meters away, and everything is closed by the authorities, and it's not possible to see more at the moment.
Martin, I know that you went to that press conference that we saw just a few hours ago. What did we learn from that news conference, first of all, about those who had lost their lives and then those injured?
Yeah, at the moment, it's not exactly clear how many deaths there are. Authorities speak of several dozens, but they did not explain it more in detail. And there are almost 100 injured people. So the amount of dead and injured is not clear. And it's we only know that it's one of the worst tragedies of the younger history in this country. But what exactly happened, nobody knows. And also, they don't know exactly who the dead and the injured are because there was no guest list at all. And so they have to identify everyone, and they hope that they can do that as quick as possible. But it seems to be quite hard work.
Let's talk now about the bar itself, Le Constellation. It's a well-known bar, isn't it, with a very healthy nightlife too?
Yeah, I personally don't know the bar, but I heard it was a place for people to go and watch sports and enjoy the nightlife of Montana. So I can't tell you personal impressions of the bar, but they said that it was popular for the young people, and so they think that lots of people were there yesterday to celebrate New Year's Eve.
Let's talk about that then.
Yeah, they're saying it's a popular bar, Le Constellation. It has a capacity of 300 people. It has a heated terrace, seating about 40. There's a smoking area, multiple TV screens, sports broadcast, Wi-Fi, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And during the day, they serve Starbucks coffee, fresh pastries. So it's like this nice, bougie looking place, I guess. Fancy, nice place. I don't remember the last time I went out for New Year's Eve. It's been a couple of years because I mean a year or two before my family went out, and then they came to my place after, and we had like some champagne and stuff. There was one year. Oh, there was one year I went to the beach. Like my mother and my sister and I went. But it was like packed. It was fucking crazy. It was years ago. Crazy. I didn't like it. It was just too nutty. A lot of people on the beach, just like packed, trying to find a seat. And then when you're trying to leave, it's crazy too. I didn't like it. It was too much for me.
And when the fire started and what we know about the cause of the fire.
Authorities only said concerning the cause that it was not a terroristic attack. They don't know what exactly caused the fire, but there was a blow.
How they rule it out so quick that it's not a terrorist attack, but they rule everything else. They didn't rule anything else but the terror attack. How did they do that?
After the fire started, there was a blow up, which probably caused all.
I'm sure it was probably accidental, but how do you rule out so fast? That's the first thing they rule. Oh, it's not a terror attack. How? If you haven't ruled anything else, how do you rule out a terror attack that quick?
But they are still investigation, and they.
We're just making sure. No, it's not terror. It's not no terror attack. How do you know, motherfuckers? How do you know?
Did not mention any further details at the press conference.
I'm tripping.
Okay, and from where you are, again, what you can tell us is that the area is fully contained, that the authorities are now investigating. What can you see?
Yeah, we can see the forensic specialists entering the scene now. The authorities from Valais asked for help at Zurich Institute for Forensics, and so these specialists will arrive in these hours to start to work. But there's nothing more to say. Because the authorities don't know what the people of the victims know about them, and so they don't let anybody get closer.
And in terms of just getting a sense for the critical infrastructure locally around the bar and lounge, has it been damaged? I mean, homes, any hotels, power lines or roads? What's the situation for people just living and working where you are?
It's quite okay. No critical infrastructure was damaged. Life goes on in Grand Montana. There are a lot of skiers on the road, so it was very focused on this bar because the authorities could react quite fast on the fire. But it seems like all is good for the village, but the problem is that there are so many injured people that the hospitals in the region are completely full, and the authorities ask the people not to do risky sports today because they have not the capacity to care about other injuries now.
And as you were saying, Crans-Montana is a popular tourist destination. Potentially, people in that bar would have travelled there from all over the world.
Yes, and that's one of the big problems the authorities have now, because they assume that there are tourists that were tourists hurt, there could be locals hurt, so they have to check the identity and find out who the people are, and so it's quite difficult for them to investigate on the identity. Yes.
And do we know from the press conference that you attended earlier this morning, do we know the exact number of people who might have been in that bar at the moment of the fire? I know you mentioned, didn't you, that actually there wasn't a guest list, so that might be really difficult to ascertain at this stage. But what's your sense about how busy it would have been?
Yeah, calculating that there are several dozens dead and hundreds injured people, so yeah, I guess it were over 200 people, but it's quite hard to tell an exact number of what amount of people was in this bar.
And at the moment where you are, of course, it's all cornered off, but what's the sense about emergency services in and around the vicinity of where you are in the bar?
At the moment, most services has left. Now it's time for police and the forensic CSI team to investigate the things. But I guess all injured were transported to the hospitals. Maybe there are some dead bodies in the bar again still, but I don't know exactly.
Yeah, no, of course, it's an ongoing developing situation, this. Part of the problem, I suppose, Martin, is that it's a relatively remote area. Tell us about the hospitals that people would have been transferred to.
Yeah, there are several hospitals here, and because it's a touristic region, so they have capacities. But at the moment, as it's clear that there are very much people for the holidays here, skiing, doing stuff, and enjoying the winter time, and so hospitals every year have a lot to do over the New Year's holiday, and so it's not a good moment to have such much injured people. And so they had to transport people also to Geneva, to Lausanne, to Zurich. So they I guess more than half the country is involved to take care of the injured people.
Damn. Smurf tagged me in this and told me that this very narrow way out, this is the bar, the club, I guess. When I was wondering, and I replied back to Smurf, I don't know if you saw it, Smurf. Is this the only exit to the place? Is that it? Oh, since it's the basement, I think so. Let me show you guys. Is that it? They got off. BBC.
And people are presumed to have died and around 100 injured in a fire at a ski resort bar in Switzerland.
Yeah.
The authorities say some of the victims are from other countries and the incident is not considered to have been an attack.
I must specify that currently we are favouring a fire, and at no time is there question of any attack.
Yeah, they're very quick to rule that out. No attack. Okay.
My first question to you, can you tell us what you saw in the moments after the blast and the fire?
So the thing is, just before I was at the restaurant just next to the Constellation, and a friend told me there is an explosion inside the Constellation and 2 deaths at the moment. So I went out to see what happened, and I saw the fire inside the place, and a lot of people was screaming, and it was a bit horrible.
And so you headed to the bar. When you got there, what did you see? How were people trying to escape?
They tried to escape at the principal entry. Yeah. But the thing is, there were a lot of people at the entry trying to escape, and was full, and people was walking on everybody, and trying to escape. And a lot of people was screaming, trying to escape, and I saw a lot of people on the floor. And I think these people was dead because someone put jackets on the face. So it was a bit horrible. Yeah, the cops was there, the ambulance was there, everyone was there, and it was a bit was horrible. Yeah, there was a lot of people was screaming.
And what you have seen, Samuel, this must have been particularly difficult for you. You were saying there that you saw dead bodies.
Yeah, I seen the fire inside, and yeah, like I told you before, yeah, people screaming, and a lot of people without hair, because it was, they were burning all the body. When they went out, some people was without clothes, and yeah, that's what I saw. I didn't saw that much. That's what I saw for the moment, at the moment.
And Samuel, we know that the resort is really popular with visitors from around the world. Did you recognise or hear different languages being spoken?
You said if there is a lot of people from other country, was there?
That's right, yes.
Yeah. Because Crans-Montana is a big station who everyone in the world is coming here. And yeah, a lot of people from I think from England, from Netherlands, around Switzerland is coming here, and yeah, that's a bit that's horrible for the family because the people was like between 16 and 18. It's horrible.
When the fire broke out, Samuel, did you notice that there were staff or emergency responders there quick enough directing people?
Can you repeat, please? I didn't really understand.
Of course. When the fire broke out, did you notice that there were staff from the bar helping people to get out?
I didn't know. I didn't saw. I don't know. I don't know.
Damn.
Okay.
Staff was just looking out for themselves. I mean, I guess can't judge. You know, people different survival instincts.
And what about emergency services? Were they quick? Did you feel that their presence were quickly noticed?
I know there is just front of the restroom. There is an escape, and just front of the Constellation, you have two escape, but it's little escape. You know, it's not that big, so I think it was difficult to escape from the place.
You mentioned earlier, Samuel, about the exits being blocked. Did that mean that people were finding it difficult to get out of the bar?
Yeah, it was difficult for them because a lot of people was on the floor, and a lot of people was trying to escape on them. You know, they were walking on them. So
damn, walking on them.
Yeah, it was really difficult to get out. Yeah, that's what I saw.
How did you help when you arrived there and you realised what was happening?
I didn't help because the security was around, and I can't try to help because the cops was there and they said you can come and just stay far from here.
And after you left the bar, because I know that you were in a nearby restaurant.
Yeah.
Tell me about the emergency services and those helping. What did you make of that?
I saw a lot of ambulance, a lot of cops, and helicopters, and yeah, it was amazing because a lot of cops and ambulance was coming, and that's why I know. What can I say? That's how I know it was really important thing what happened inside.
And, you know, this was meant to be a moment of celebration for people to enjoy New Year's Eve. I just wonder your reflections on something like this, so devastating.
So can you repeat? Sorry.
This was meant to be a time of celebration and it turned into a disaster. I wonder your thoughts.
Yeah, nobody was thinking it could happen at the New Year's Eve. It's horrible, you know. And everyone was shocked, and you know, all the party around the Constellation was a bit, you know, how you say that? All the people just left all the bar or the restaurant because to saw what happened. And, how you say that? L'ambiance. How you say that?
Oh, I think I was thinking about that true crime, Jeanne. This is similar to the Station Club fire in Rhode Island in 2003. The exits were locked. Yeah.
I don't know how you say, but everyone was a bit sad at the moment, and everyone stopped partying.
Okay, Samuel, thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah, the Station nightclub fire.
We're joined in the studio.
That was in Rhode Island, 2003. 100 people died. And during that concert, pyrotechnics ignited flammable acoustic foam on the walls. Wow. There were some other big fires too, like Coconut Grove nightclub fire, Boston, Massachusetts, 1942. 492 dead. Damn. Let me show this. Let's see what this is here. Not the club, I guess. That Punk. One more time. So this is before the fire. I mean, it looks pretty lit. It looks like a fun place. Damn. And this is live right now outside of the place. Not much going on out there now, I guess. Let's see what else I can pull up.
Ja? Okay.
And they're saying this was the start of the fire. The video I showed earlier. Let me show you this. Because they're saying they think it was champagne sparklers that hit the ceiling and caught fire. Let's see. This is just the outside. It has a basement, apparently. Let me see. Does this show the inside of the club? That's crazy, man. Happy New Year. Imagine like bringing in the new year. Oh, this is the best time of my life. And then this crazy. I guess it's just like B-roll footage. All right, this person here is a ski resort, Swiss ski resort. A lot of people would have been young. Let's see.
Well, I can't get very close to the Constellation bar because it is cordoned off by the police. I can't really see the damage here this morning, but I've certainly spoken to quite a lot of traumatized people who saw what happened, saw the fire break out, saw people trying to get out of this club. And this is, this is a town where people come to have a good time, to have a party, and Switzerland takes New Year very, very seriously. They always have fireworks in the square. The people who want to go on and party afterwards, there are plenty of clubs for them to go to. And it is an absolute tragedy because a lot of the people who would have been there at 1:30 in the evening would have been very young, 16 to 18, maybe 20. That's the sort of age group of people who were going into the club. So that's what people are telling me. I also understand that, it's a wooden construction inside, so quite flammable. It would have gone up quite quickly if something had gone off in there. We don't yet know the cause of the fire. We know it's not terrorists. We heard that there was some form of explosion. Having been in a party town in Switzerland last night, I can tell you that there's all sorts of things going on. There's flares, there's fireworks, there's sometimes pyrotechnics from some of the DJs. There would have been a DJ in the central town here, where in the central square, and that's where most people would have gathered around midnight, and then they would have gone off to the clubs. And it is quite crazy, it is quite chaotic in these Swiss ski resorts. And they really do, this would have been the biggest party of the night here in this resort. And of course, it is a world-renowned resort. This is a famous ski area where Brits do come. Crans-Montana, those people who follow ski racing will know it's probably one of the top 5 World Cup downhill courses here. And in a month's time, all the fastest racers in the world will be coming here for the Crans-Montana downhill. And it's just an absolute shock. These Swiss towns, they're also renowned for their safety. Everything is not normally done very, very orderly way. And you can be sure that when this did happen, that the emergency services would have been we understand around 100 people injured, and those will be serious injuries. Yeah. And then dozens of people have been killed here. And the town really, this morning, you can perhaps see people gathering behind me by the cordon. There's still some of them waking up to this. This is a real shock to the people of Crans-Montana.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Flu cases are rising in 32 states. Maybe that's what I have. Maybe I have the flu. I don't know. I forgot where I was. Some lady looked at me crazy. Like, you're not going to get the flu shot? You want to get the flu shot? No, I'm good. What? No, I'm not getting that shit. I'm good. Because I've gotten it twice a long time ago. And those are the most I've ever been sick. I'd rather be sick once or twice a year than 4 to 6 times taking your flu shot shit. Yeah, no thank you. I don't want to take it. They was trying to force me to take this. I don't want to take that bullshit. No, thank you. The random shit that they're guessing every year, the efficacy rates aren't good enough for me. No, thank you. I don't want to inject myself with strains or shit every year. No. I said no. And these people are the my body, my choice people. So yeah, if I say no, I don't want to take the shit, don't look at me crazy. I don't want to take the shit. You're the my body, my choice people. Okay, all right. I'm done ranting. Yeah, I don't know. This is crazy to wake up to this. They're saying at least 40 people dead. How does this happen, dude? Like, this is just crazy. And they're saying sparklers. And like Murky Piglet said, sparklers, bro? What? Some sparklers caused this massive, unredeemable fire that killed 40 people? And an explosion somewhere? So people are reporting an explosion. An explosion. I don't know.
I don't see it in the list. I see AF, I see Beijing, I don't see any Europe. I don't.
You been sick? How long? For weeks? Really? Okay. With C19. That's COVID-19. Oh, really? No Christmas at our house. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Metal Mama. You know, like, I guess that's the story.
You see me?
I think it's some other stuff too, Becky.
I've connected to Beijing's F4 IP. Yeah, I don't know because it's not just, it doesn't come up in the list. Can you see me?
Well, Lily in London tagged me in this. People flee in panic. I said one woman told the broadcaster one of them, a sparkler on the champagne, was held too close to the ceiling, which then caught fire. Within seconds, the entire ceiling was ablaze. Everything was made of wood. That's crazy. Panic immediately broke out in the bar. The guests, screaming and running, immediately tried to flee. They estimated around 200 people, including numerous minors, aged 15 to 20, were in the basement. The fire, 15, that's the thing that gets me. I guess in these countries, maybe it's a little different, you know? 15, I didn't even have a cell phone at 15. My first cell phone was at 17. And it was this Nokia bullshit with the snake eating game. 15 out partying. Wow. The fire quickly spread to the upper floor. People desperately tried to escape to safety. The exit door was quite small, considering the number of people present. Someone broke a window so people could get out. One of the women reported one woman was pushed down the stairs in the crush and injured her knee. And people are desperate. They're going to push and try to get out. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. Let me see what else I can find. I need to take some medicine. I haven't taken any since yesterday. With my cough. Let me see what else. Anything else we have in this fire? I'd like to hear like a witness account from somebody that was inside the shit. That got out, you know? Here's one, I guess. 40. Let's see.
I had just come back from my friend's place. We were actually going to go to the bar.
Oh, you're going to go to the Constellation?
Or the one above, but we were on the way there when we saw what happened.
And the place was on fire when you came? It was still a bit like a
Yeah, it was.
fire?
You could see the orange, yellow, red.
That's it.
Understandably, they don't want civilians getting in and involving and getting in the way. And many were able to help carrying, I don't want to say corpses. I think everyone who was out and kind of reactive survived, but carrying bodies out of the fire from there, at least a bit further away. You see there's the bar 1900. That was the first kind of responding place. They did amazing to stay open. It was warm in there, that was what was needed. As mentioned before, the main, I think, problem was the temperature shock from the heat inside to the cold outside. So one of the priorities was to get everyone warm. I mean, I'm talking the curtains of the restaurant was used. And yeah, I mean, many gory scenes. There were many who were very strong, who stayed strong, and who understood that their life was in grave danger, but decided that mentally it was more important to stay calm.
Why can't they just record a normal video? Why is it like these pauses in between? Play the interview of this person talking. That's all people care about.
UBS opened up, so thank you to them also. We pushed all the tables were pushed aside and people entered, and it was warmer in there, there was more light as well, so the triage was done there. All the paramedics, police, not the firemen were out here, but... And then it was just ambulances coming back and forth as much as possible, bringing them down to the Moubra. The Moubra, from my understanding, was for the less severe victims. So basically they told us anyone that can walk, anyone who was pretty conscious can go there. And then the others were taken down to wherever else they're taken to.
Sion.
So I'll just try and...
Again, there's a help hotline that is on the RTS. So please, there were calls from parents this morning asking where their kids are. I don't know.
A lot of foreigners too, I imagine.
It was mostly foreigners actually, I think.
Wow.
Recap now on that breaking news coming out of Switzerland this morning. In the Crans-Montana area, there was a bar.
Maybe I'll get my ass off of here.
Now let's just recap some of that breaking news from this morning. Swiss police believe around 40 people have sadly died following a bar explosion precipitated by a fire, and 100 people are injured. That's on top of the 40. Many of those are thought to be seriously wounded.
Now, the fire began at around about midnight UK time in a bar in Crans-Montana in the Valais region, which is popular with many tourists.
Well, Swiss authorities have said that some of the victims are from other countries, but have not yet confirmed if any British citizens are among the casualties.
The local intensive care unit is also full, and victims have been transferred to nearby hospitals.
Well, during a press conference earlier today, the police said they believed a fire was responsible for the explosion rather than any sort of terror attack.
And the UK Foreign Office have commented on the incident. A spokesperson has said,
"Our thoughts are with all those injured and killed in the terrible tragedy in Crans-Montana, as we pay tribute to the Swiss emergency services who are leading the response."
Now, earlier this morning, the head of Valais Canton Police in Switzerland addressed the press. Here's what they had to say.
We've counted around 100 injured people, most of them seriously, and unfortunately several dozen individuals are presumed dead. I can't hide it from you. We're shaken by what happened last night in Caen. On behalf of the command of the Valais Cantonal Police, I extend my deepest sympathy to the victims and the families affected by this tragedy. I assure them of our support during these particularly dramatic and painful moments.
Well, that's what the police had to say, but a resident of the Swiss ski resort is very worried for a person that she knows who may have been in the blast. She's been speaking to reporters.
I learned this when I received messages from friends and family this morning, asking me if everyone in the family was doing well. At that moment, I watched the news. On the phone, I became aware of the tragedy that had taken place during the night. I know someone who may have been among the victims, who I cannot reach, and I am very worried. I'm going to try and reach out to other people who know this lady and see if she's still alive.
All right, so joining us now is GB News' national reporter, Will Godley. Will, have we got any more updates?
Well, things continuing to come through, bits of information from Crans-Montana, obviously in South Switzerland, near France and Italy, and all three authorities working together on this. People were screaming and running. The exit door was quite small compared to the number of people present. Someone broke a window so that people could get out. So that's Emma and Albane there, two French women at Le Constellation bar last night, and we now know that Swiss authorities have said more than 100 people injured, many of them seriously injured with severe burns. The local hospital is full up, and many people with these severe burns have been airlifted elsewhere in the country to get specialist treatment, because obviously when you have severe burns you need a particular treatment that the local hospital simply can't offer, and so they've been airlifted there. And the entire population of Switzerland been urged not to take any risks in the coming few days, particularly on the ski slopes. Of course, Switzerland known for its skiing. People not wanting, the authorities there not wanting any extra pressure to be placed on hospitals, as many of them across the country continue to try and help these people with burns. But sadly as well, we know that 40 people did die in this fire. That's not come from the Swiss authorities, that's come from the Italian authorities, quoting the Swiss authorities. Now, the Italian authorities...
40 people dead over some sparklers. That's crazy.
Working with the Swiss on this. They've said at this stage they're not aware that any Italian people have been killed in this incident, but saying it will take a number of weeks to identify those who have died due to the nature of these burns, presumably taking away any kind of identifying features amongst some of those dead. The scene there this morning has all been shut off. Police tape in place there, as you can see if you're watching on the scene. Now some flowers have been placed there at the scenes, and forensic officers there now setting up tents to try and piece together exactly what happened. We've not heard any more details other than what the Swiss authorities said this morning about exactly what's happened there. They're continuing their investigations to try and establish exactly what's happened. These eyewitness reports we're hearing, but nothing yet confirmed from Swiss authorities.
I'd be interested to hear what their fire prevention measures were. So whether they had sprinkler systems in the roofs, or
there is none, apparently.
A lot of places they'll have sprinkler systems and all that kind of stuff, especially if the building is made out of wood. I'm wondering. I mean, the fire may have been so quick, but I'm wondering if there was.
The whole place is made out of wood. What the hell? The whole place is made out of wood. And apparently they had no sprinkler system, because I would have thought that would activate. What's up with the sprinkler system? For this ritzy, lavish place that people go to spend it, just like their university, the Brown University, Ivy League school, the fucking, there's no cameras, the siren system doesn't even work. What the hell?
Anything like that? Do we know of anything about?
Well, I mean, bullshit. Lots of these kind of ski chalets, these bars in these ski resorts are made out of wooden beams and have these wooden structures, don't they? You would have thought they would be treated with some sort of fire prevention kind of spray to avoid any kind of fire like this, particularly in a bar where there would be these candles, alcohol, people in close proximity together.
Flammable again.
Exactly. So
that's crazy. All right, well, I guess that's the story for today, for this morning. I think I'm going to hop off for now. But, yeah, crazy, sad. Crazy to wake up to that. 40 people deceased. Holy crap. At least there could be more. That's just the number they're saying now. Insane. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Be safe today. Happy New Year's Day. The first day of the year. It's crazy, too. 2026. Wow. 2026. Let's see what this year has to bring. All right. Thank you, guys. Take care. Peace. Be safe.